What's up, party people, and welcome to STONIECAST number 196 and season 6, episode 22 of Thoughts and Hunches, making money in bunches and sucker punches. It's your boy Stoney coming back at you for the 196th time, and I'd like to welcome all of my fellow criminals, hoodlums, scumbags, shady characters, lowlifes, heathens, fugitives from justice, altar boys with unhealthy relationships with their priests, scoundrels, wise guys, hustlers, hooligans, foul-mouthed raging alcoholics, MLB players that have got into a fight with Bryce Harper. You know who you are. Thanks for watching. Cheats, gangsters, fienders with abusive language, degenerates. Let's face it, anybody with a massive gambling problem. If you're new to the show, hey, congratulations, because that means you probably fit into a few of those categories, so welcome, because you're now one of us. One of us. Gooba gabba, one of us. Sorry, just know the reference. That's all I got to say. Hey, make sure you hit the subscribe button right down here, lower right-hand corner, and ring that bell. That way you can get notified every time I put out a new video. To spread the word's also very easy. Just tell other degenerates, fienders, and scumbags you know to go to YouTube and enter Thoughts and Hunches right in the search bar. That'll take you to my page, and you can get dialed into everything that I drop on you. Also, if you're new, and if you don't know what's what with this channel, it's college and pro football winners, MLB playoff winners, and college basketball winners. And I just give you picks. No player props, and absolutely no parlays. Why? Because I like my money, right? I do not like giving money away, and that's exactly what parlays do. You just throw money away. The books don't expect a guy like me to deliver this many winners. I'm an outlier, and I'm a disruptor. I'm like the Beastie Boys. I disrupt.
Step inside the party, disrupt the whole scene.
Yes, that's what I do. I go to the mattresses every single week, and I get the info in order to get you to the window with a ticket to cash. Now, before I get to the picks, as usual, I have some thoughts. And I missed the sound drop on it. Give me all you got. Give me all you got. There you go. That's what you're going to have to go. That's what you're going to have to go by. Quick housekeeping, all right? Listen, people, I know you degenerates and fienders look forward to my weekly plays, but if you listen to what I say, you'll know the videos are now going to drop on Friday, all right? Just listen to what I say. So please stop blowing me up on Wednesday asking me, where's STONIECAST? They will drop on Friday for now, and I'll tell you when that changes. But just keep listening and stop blowing your boy up. All right, Mike? Okay, this one is going to be long, kind of long-winded. All right? But I'm going to start by saying no regulation. That's it, no regulation. What does that mean? It means that college sports, the sports media, and you, the fans, and the betting public, the fienders and degenerates, y'all wanted students to get paid, and boy, did you ever get it, okay? I've been saying for years that the death of college athletics would come because of paying players, and while it's certainly not the death, the system's completely broken, okay? It just is. Why? Because there's no regulation. Isn't that what I just said? Coaches and athletes, notice how I won't say students, are in an open bidding system that allows them to change jobs at will with no repercussions at all. Athletes in particular are all on one-year contracts. 1 year. And they're allowed to renegotiate every year for a better deal. They're not looking ahead. They're looking to the next year of their life instead of thinking about the big picture. That's where they're getting into trouble. The kicker is that you can't pay them to play football because then they would become employees. Instead, terms like NIL and marketing rights make it legally complicated, let's say, right? Because that's what it is. A system that was created that regulates payroll, costs via third party to approve deals, and then tell the system that was created to ignore all the rules because they'd lose in court. That's exactly what's going on here. Then the most loyal customers, usually successful alums and donors, throw money at these athletes with no benefit other than to sit in a suite and watch their alma maters win. Then when those players decide to enter the portal and demand an even bigger pile of change next year, go back to those donors and ask them for more. People like Phil Knight at Oregon, Mark Cuban in Indiana, Cody Campbell, Texas Tech, they're all billionaires, right? Who have endless funds to just keep funneling and building football factories at their alma maters. Now, while the product on the field, the football field or the basketball court, has not suffered in the least, the product has not suffered, it's fantastic. The system is so broken with no oversight and regulation that it's only going to get worse as players like Nigel Pack, Chad Baker-Mazara, Joey Aguilar, Carson Beck, Trinidad Chambliss. These guys are on the wrong side of 25. They're on their mid-20s and they're still in college because they're making so much money. Roughly 40% of college football players this year are in the transfer portal. That's terrifying, right? And quarterbacks are commanding $5 million deals per season. Then there's Washington quarterback Damon Williams Jr., who had a great season and re-signed with UW to stay in Seattle for another year, only to renege on that agreement the next day because LSU offered him $6.5 million. He eventually decided to stay at Washington, honoring his commitment, but the fact that he can do it is a major problem. College basketball has a product that's now allowing for players who were professionals in Europe or in the NBA G League to come back to college and get paid. I mean, out of control. Former NCAA President Mark Emmert warned us all about this 6 years ago. And now the only way it can get fixed is if Congress gets involved that gives the NCAA legal protection to enforce its rules as the governing body. Now, with another midterm election coming, I don't see it ending anytime soon. A commissioner needs to be installed because right now the conference commissioners have all the power, but they're all acting in their own self-interest. A true commissioner, someone like Nick Saban, just throwing a name out there, needs to take over, right? And be the Kennesaw Mountain Landis of the NCAA. One boss among all the other commissioners. The Wild Wild West system is incredibly broken, and guys like Knight, Cuban, and Campbell will continually throw money, an endless stream of it, to their alma maters. When will it end? I'm not sure. But damn, I'm glad I got all that off my chest, because I can just keep going. I think the MLB is in trouble. I think the MLB is heading for a strike. They're going to play this season, but that's it. I think in 2027, they're going to go on strike. The Dodgers are just making a mockery. Now, they're not breaking any rules. They're not. But they're just throwing money, unbelievable money, at players, right? And there's no competitive balance. The Dodgers will just keep winning. That's why I think a hard cap or some sort of cap is coming, collective bargaining. They're going to go to the table, and a strike is coming, and it's going to happen next year. And yeah, it's the Dodgers' fault. Sorry, had to say it. Now, as for the week that was, in the CFP semifinals, I missed with Ole Miss, but I hit the over in Game 1. While in Game 2, I hit Indiana, but missed the total. So that left me 2-2 for the week in college football with the national championship in 3 days as the last game of the season. NFL playoffs, I began on Saturday going 3-1 with my only loss on the Bears-Packers total. Sunday, I went 4-2 with a solid day And Monday, I finished the week with another 2-0 by hitting Houston in the under easily, leaving me 5-1 in totals and 4-2 on sides for a 9-3 weekend that did some major damage. College hoops, despite a 4-5 Thursday and an unprecedented 0-6 Friday, I absolutely demolished the books Tuesday, Wednesday, and especially Saturday to light up the board and finish in the black yet again. So let's take a peek at some numbers. Last week, 59 wins, 41 losses, 1 push. 59%, another absolutely solid week. NCAA football postseason record with only 1 game left. 69 wins, 42 losses, 1 push, 62.16%. The large is still here. 1 game left, and I can lose both sides of it on Monday, and I'm still going to finish over 60%. Crazy. NFL playoffs, week 1, 9-3, 75% in wild card week. NCAA basketball for the season, 317 wins, 231 losses, 4 pushes, 57.85%, getting close to 58. That's the goal. Degenerate special, 16 wins, 10 losses, 61.54%, still phenomenal. And Sunday night, 14 wins, 8 losses, and 1 push, 63.64%. That's just huge, and it has been all season long. So overall, every single pick I've given you in all 21 episodes this year, 820 wins, 579 losses, and 12 pushes. That's 58.61% for the season. I mean, that can only mean one thing.
Wow, winning.
That's it. That's 1,400 picks I've given you. And I'm at 58%. Now, once again, I want you to remember that all these picks are 100% free. So for all the touts out there that are charging you for picks and giving you 75 to 80% winners, just stop. All right, Brett Musburger? We all know you're full of shit. Plus, you're charging for these picks.
Oh!
I mean, come on. With me, it's simple. Just come to YouTube every week, and I'll drop my plays on you for free. Plus, I want you all to know that these are all bets that I'm personally going to make with my own money. So I'm not just throwing darts at a dartboard and blindly picking random games. All right, let's do this. Episode 22. Ready?
Just win, baby.
That's right, Al. You let us know. The new week began on Tuesday with me going 10-6 in college hoops, followed by 13-11 on Wednesday, and a massive 7-2 yesterday. So I'm 30-19 already this week, with games going on right now that I'm watching, and a couple more tonight that I already gave you in the comments section of Stoniecast 195. Now, I don't know about you, but 61% already this week means I'm playing with house money, right? All I do is just continue to stack winners.
Clacking lots of dollars, we all got gold.
Whoa, where did that come from? Mix-a-Lot. Ooh, shout out Mix-a-Lot. Clacking lots of dollars, we all got gold. Now, before I get to the massive day tomorrow in college hoops, we got 2 NFL divisional playoff matchups. And the first one goes at 4:30 Eastern on CBS at Mile High in Denver. The AFC top-seeded Broncos are 1.5-point home favorites versus 6-seed Buffalo, and the total's 46. Denver, as the 1 seed, had the first week off to rest and get healthy after finishing 14-3. Buffalo finished only 1 game behind Denver in record, but wound up with the 6 seed and proceeded to go into Jacksonville and take out the Jags last week in another of Josh Allen's great performances. Denver has the much better defense, but had a very soft schedule. And the fact that Buffalo doesn't have any stud receivers kind of negates Denver's best defender, Patrick Surtain. Denver doesn't run the ball very well, and that could hurt the Broncos because the Bills can't stop the run. Now, Bo Nix is turning into a very good quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over, but the strength of Buffalo's defense is their pass defense. Buffalo, they run it well with the NFL's leading rusher, James Cook. But he was useless last week as Jacksonville completely shut him down. Denver's run defense is ranked second in the league, and the Broncos lead the NFL in sacks. It's just crazy. This one is a rematch of last season, right? The Bills beat down Denver 31-7, but that one was in Orchard Park. This is strength versus strength as the Bills have the offensive edge while Denver has the defensive edge. I always side with the defense in these matchups. So while the public is all over Josh Allen and the sports media's insufferable talk about how this is Allen's time to finally win without Burrow, Lamar, or Mahomes, I'll take the Broncos at home laying the 1.5 and over 46. Yeah, I said over. Breaks my heart, but I did. You're welcome, Tree. Saturday's nightcap goes at 8 Eastern on Big Fox at Lumen Field in Seatown. Shout out Mix-a-Lot again. Where the NFC's number 1 seeded Seahawks are 7-point home chalk over number 6 San Francisco, and the total's 45. Seattle had last week off and are healthy aside from DeMarcus Lawrence being questionable. The Niners traveled to Philly and left with an improbable win that nobody saw coming. These two division rivals, they met twice during the season, bookending it, as the Niners won in Seattle to open the season, while the Seahawks won in Santa Clara a few weeks ago to secure the NFC's top seed. San Francisco has the edge at head coach, quarterback, and third down efficiency, while Seattle is better everywhere else. Purdy's better than Darnold. We know this. But both are prone to turnovers, as Purdy overcame 2 picks last week as the Niners won despite losing the turnover battle. That won't happen again, especially here. This is easily Kyle Shanahan's best coaching job of his career, but eventually the injuries are going to catch up to them. And without George Kittle, SF is in trouble here. Seattle's rushing attack is elite, and the 49er defense is soft. Seattle wins and advances, though Shanahan has enough in his bag to keep this one close and cover the number, possibly even through the back door. Because the Niners haven't been this big of an underdog in the playoffs in 40 years. Also, along with the Niners, I'm on under 45 here. So get it now before it gets to 44 after it opened at 46.5. So jump on under. Niners in the under. Now, we got a whole slew of college hoops games to get to tomorrow. And I'm going to have to go rapid fire here because I've got a ton of plays to keep you amused if the NFL games start to get out of hand. Ready? All right, let's start. Noon Eastern on Big Fox. I like third-ranked Connecticut, minus 12.5 at Georgetown as the Hoyas continue to flail away and UConn continues to roll. Noon Eastern on Big Ten Network, give me Minnesota on the road, catching 15 and a hook at Illinois. The Illini win, but Minnesota has alligator blood and has enough to be hanging around.
Hanging around. Kids got alligator blood.
Oh, Teddy. That a kid. Teddy. Noon Eastern on the CW Network. I'll take Georgia Tech on the road, plus 16 at North Carolina State. Way too many points for a good, but not very good NC State squad. Noon Eastern on TNT, I'll roll with 25th ranked Seton Hall at home in the Prudential Center, laying 6.5 versus Butler. The Hall continues to improve while Butler's lost 4 in a row. Noon Eastern on the Deuce. I like Southern Methodist at home catching a point and a hook versus 16th ranked Virginia with a sprinkle on the money line.
Sprinkle me, man.
That a kid, 40. These are two excellent teams, and SMU's dangerous, especially at home in the Big D. Noon Eastern on ESPN, give me 24th ranked Tennessee at home, minus 5 and a chunk over Kentucky, as UT's defense is going to swarm and keep Kentucky at bay on Rocky Top. Noon Eastern on ACC Network, I'll take Virginia Tech at home, -5 versus Notre Dame. The Irish have played better than most people thought they would have, but Vatek can fill it up from downtown. 1 Eastern on CBS, I'll dance with UCLA on the road, catching 3 and a hook at Ohio State. Both teams need a resume-building win, and both are good, probable tournament teams, but UCLA is getting healthy right now, so I like the Bruins on the road. 1 Eastern on SEC Network, I like number 18 Alabama here, laying 5 on the road at Oklahoma. OU's dangerous at home, but Bama are going to get their mojo back after losing 2 in a row last week to Texas and Vanderbilt. 2 Eastern on Peacock, give me second-ranked Iowa State, -6 at Cincinnati. The Cyclones were embarrassed at Kansas the other day, and they're going to take it out on the Bearcats. 2 Eastern on Big Fox, I'll take Iowa, +1.5 on the road at Indiana with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man. Sprinkle me.
Something like that. 2 very good Big Ten teams, but Iowa's physicality is going to wear down Indiana's sharpshooters. A good matchup right here in Music City goes at 2 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN, and I'll roll with 19th ranked Florida, +2 and a chunk at number 10 Vanderbilt with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man.
Something like that. That a kid. Florida, they're just warming up right now, right? Vandy, they got exposed in Austin the other night. Now, 2:15 Eastern on the CW on the CW network, I like Miami on the road, catching 5 at 22nd ranked Clemson. Both teams come in red hot, but I like the Canes' depth to keep this one close at Littlejohn. 3:30 Eastern on SEC Network, give me Missouri on the road, +5.5 at Louisiana State. LSU's lost 4 in a row, while Mizzou has been shooting it well from deep, so I'll gladly take the points here. 4 Eastern on ACC Network, I'll take 14th ranked North Carolina on the road, laying 3.5 at Cal. I don't see Carolina losing both games of the Bay Area two-step, and after losing at Stanford on Wednesday, they won't make the same mistake in the armpit of America, better known as Berkeley. 4 Eastern on ESPN, I'll dance with a flyer here and take Central Florida, catching 9.5 at home over top-ranked Arizona. The Knights are tough and playing well right now. While this is a very long trip for the nation's number 1 team, Zona wins, but UCF cashes. 4 Eastern on the Deuce, I like number 17 Arkansas, +1.5 at 21st ranked Georgia with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man.
Just like that. Georgia has lost 2 out of 3, while Arkansas comes in winners of 8 out of 9. The Hogs are the play here. 4 Eastern on Big Ten Network, give me 8th ranked Nebraska, laying 5 at Northwestern. The Huskers are one of only 3 remaining unbeatens, and they continue to impress. I like Northwestern, especially at home, but I'm going to keep riding Nebraska right now till they prove me wrong. 4 Eastern on NBC, I'll take Oregon at home, +18 versus number 4 Michigan. After an unbelievable start, the Wolverines haven't covered 3 straight, and they even lost at home on Saturday. Oregon's lost 3 in a row and are clearly struggling right now.
Struggling.
Oh, Joe. Was that you, Joe?
Struggling.
It was. One more time.
Struggling.
Thanks, Joe. I don't care if they've been struggling. That's a big number, so I'm going to take the Quack Attack at home. 8 Eastern on ACC Network, I'll roll with Stanford at home, catching 8 and a hook versus 6th ranked Duke. Both teams are hot, and Stanford has turned a lot of heads. I don't think they get the win here, but they got enough to cover the number. 6 Eastern on ESPN, I like Texas A&M +4 at Texas. The size and physicality of the Aggies is going to be too much for Texas at the Moody Center. 6 Eastern on Peacock, give me 5th ranked Purdue -6.5 at USC. Purdue's very quietly 16-1, and while they failed to cover 3 straight, this is a bad spot for USC as Purdue should come in and roll. 6 Eastern on Big Ten Network, I'll take number 12 Michigan State minus 3 and a chunk on the road at Washington. Sparty's way too physical, and they're going to shut down UW shooters in this one. 8 Eastern on the deuce. I'll dance with Pittsburgh at home, plus 7 versus 20th ranked Louisville. Neither team has played great, and Louisville has been struggling way too much. So I have to take Pitt. They're the play here. 8 Eastern on ESPN, and one of the best games of the day. I like number 15, Texas Tech, minus 2 and a chunk at home versus 11th ranked Brigham Young. Tech is ferocious and very underrated, while BYU gets all the flowers. They won't cash here, though, as the public will bite with BYU. 8 Eastern on Peacock. Give me Villanova minus 1.5 at home versus St. John's. Nova's quietly been stacking wins. So have I. While the Johnnies are finally coming around after a rough start. And this should be a very, very good one with second place in the Big East on the line. So I'm going to take the Cats at home. And finally, this week's Degenerate special goes at 10 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. And I like Oklahoma State laying 4 and a hook at home versus Kansas State. Kansas State has P.J. Haggerty, but they haven't found any type of groove, and the Pokies are tough at home, and they're going to get the W at Gallagher-Iba in the late night get right. I don't know, man. I just don't know. 27 plays kind of seems like a lot, but there were at least 5 or 6 out there that I backed off of, and a couple more that don't have opening lines yet. Because I got to get the picks out to you feeders who got to get them. You're like junkies. I need them. Take it easy. It ain't that serious, right? Speaking of that, these are lines these lines are opening lines that I'm able to give you right now. And they can and probably will move between now and what they close at. So just be aware of that. You know, that's what you got to do, okay? I think that's it. Am I done?
No, I'm just getting warmed up.
Ah, that's right, Alfred. Sunday, the NFL divisional playoffs continue and begin in the AFC at 3 Eastern on ABC at Shaving Cream Stadium in Foxborough. The top-seeded Patriots are 3-point home favorites versus 5-seed Houston, and the total's listed at 41. Both teams dominated their wild-card opponents last week as New England took out the Chargers 16-3, while Houston blasted Pittsburgh 30-6. The Patriots are well-coached, young, have the 4th-ranked defense, the probable NFL MVP at quarterback, a ton of cap space, draft capital, and seem to be set for the next couple years. Houston comes in with the NFL's best defense, and they showed it in spades Monday night in hammering the Steelers. But now they come in on a short week to a brutal environment in bad weather. New England's offense has been incredible this year as they're second in the NFL in scoring, and their defense is ranked 4th, so it's just as good. Houston's Achilles heel is their offense, as quarterback C.J. Stroud just doesn't seem right, and he fumbled and bumbled his way on Monday to 3 turnovers. The Texans cannot win without a running game, and Stroud looking overmatched. They just can't do it. Edge rushers Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter are elite. Their linebacking crew is top-notch, and their secondary is arguably the best in the league. This is also an excellent coaching matchup, with Mike Vrabel and DeMeco Ryans hoping to square off for many years to come in the AFC. New England's Achilles heel is their schedule, which was the easiest schedule in the NFL since 1998, and a shaky, if not vulnerable, offensive line that is starting 2 rookies on the left side against Houston's great defense. Could the Pats get exposed as frauds here based on a weak schedule? I doubt it, because Vrabel and quarterback Drake May are too good. But I still like Houston here because that defense is relentless. So I'm on the Texans catching the field goal on the road with a sprinkle and under 41.5.
Big timer, big timer, 40 sprinkle me, man.
Just like that. That's how it's done. Sunday's nightcap is in the NFC and goes at 6:30 Eastern on NBC at Soldier Field in the Windy City. His fifth-seeded Rams are 3.5-point road chalk at number 2 seed Chicago, and the total's 48.5. Both teams played last week, and both teams came from behind to win in dramatic fashion as the Ram Chops took out Carolina 34-31, while the Bears bounced the Packers 31-27 in the only 2 games of the 6 wildcard games that went over the total. The Rams' top-ranked offense is going to be on full display against the Bears' shaky defense. And thank God this one is on NBC and not CBS, so we don't have to hear Tony Romo just fawn all over Matthew Stafford again like he did last week. It was just unbearable. Now, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams give Stafford the best 1-2 punch in football at wideout. And they'll take dead aim at a Bears defense that ranked in the mid-20s in all categories, though they somehow led the league in takeaways. Offensively, the Bears are dynamic also, as Caleb Wilson, despite making some head-scratching throws at times, has all the tools in the book and the physicality to change games and avoid sacks. Where the Bears' real strength is, though, comes in their rushing attack. DeAndre Swift and rookie Kyle Monangai have been incredible this year. The Rams are more talented, but their defense, which was once a strength, has been getting gouged the last month. Add that in with Chicago's penchant for late-game heroics, and I'm on the Bears here. Catching 3.5 at home in the brutal cold of Chicago, and while I'm at it, I'll take under 48.5. That's it for NFL. There's one game left. What is it? Monday night brings us the NCAA football season to a close with the national championship at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN at Hard Cock Stadium in Bienvenidos a Miami, as top-ranked Indiana is an 8.5-point favorite at 10th-ranked Miami, and the totals is set at 47.5. Indiana, the nation's only unbeaten team, got here by taking out Alabama and Oregon in the playoffs to the tune of 94-23 in 2 blowout wins. Miami had an extra game, but they've taken out Texas A&M, Ohio State, and Ole Miss to get to the championship game in their home stadium. The Canes were once a college football powerhouse, but they've been irrelevant for over 20 years, all right? They have been. And they dealt with NCAA probes, probation, and a lack of depth, right? Nevin Shapiro. Remember him? Yeah. They should have been put on the death penalty, but good old Nevin Shapiro. Yeah. Maybe I'll come back to him, but I'd rather not. But now they're different, right? Head coach Mario Cristobal built this team on the strength of powerful offensive and defensive lines. And while quarterback Carson Beck is a little shaky, he's been solid down the stretch by throwing short passes in front of the linebackers and relying on the Canes' speed in the form of Mark Fletcher Jr. and Malachi Toney to scare defenses. Miami also has 2 defensive linemen that are going to be first-round draft picks in Ruben Bain and Akeem Messidor. Those guys are terrifying. Indiana's just brilliant everywhere with no apparent weaknesses. It starts with head coach Curt Cignetti's no-nonsense approach and Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Francisco Mendoza. Back Roman Hemby leads the ground attack behind a big and physical offensive line, while Omar Cooper leads 3 receivers in big playability. Defensively, the Hoosiers are as tough as Cignetti with a lockdown secondary and linebackers that never miss tackles in open spaces, all behind a ferocious D-line. Both teams are top 10 in rushing yards allowed per game, but Indiana runs it much better than Miami. At quarterback, Beck is 126 years old and is somehow playing in his 3rd national championship game, though his first as a starter, while Mendoza only rises to the challenge and doesn't seem to be affected by the size or the gravity of the moment. Miami is mistake-prone, while Indiana just doesn't make mistakes, ever. I learned my lesson by betting against Indiana a few times this season and got burned, but they just keep rolling. And as good of a season as Miami has had, Indiana's on a roll here and just crushing teams. Both numbers scare me because if the Hoosiers get going, they could hang 40 on Miami. In the immortal words of Woody Hayes, who when asked after the game why he went for 2 up by 40 in the fourth quarter against Michigan, Hayes said, because they wouldn't let me go for 3. That's how Cignetti thinks. The same way. Indiana's 26-2 since Cignetti took over last year. If you've been following my STONIECAST over the years, you know I love the dogs and the unders. But I'm just not feeling it here. I have no choice but to roll with Hoosier Daddy, laying the big number, and over 47.5 as Indiana's coronation has arrived. It's that simple.
Show me the money.
Let's look at
Spot for a Glock. I took a long overfloss, but still got a knock.
Oh, Rod Tidwell, God bless you. That's 8 NFL plays and 2 college football plays to go along with 27 college hoops plays, right? Make sure to check out the comment section every day for more college hoops, which will drop, and they'll just keep on coming from now until April. Also, keep your eye out for STONIECAST 197, which will drop next Friday. Friday, not Wednesday. So until then, just remember, if you want to win big, you got to bet big. Good teams win, but break teams cover. You can't go broke taking a profit. Scared money don't make money. The less you bet, the more you lose when you win. Shout out Chris the Bear FALLICA. For me, the action is the juice.
But for me, the action is the juice. Amen.
Just like that. The difference between winning and making money is that anyone can win betting chalk, but you can't make money unless you take the dogs. God made life a gamble, and we're still in the game. Shout out to the late, great Joe Diffie. There's money on the streets that can't be ignored. And finally, good luck to you. And yep, Gooch, my brother, I miss you.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.